Hello and welcome to Maths with Fateh, and we'll be solving the Surds Part 2 video today. I have some new rules and laws to teach you people. So let's look at the questions and let's first of all look at the laws. So law number 1 states that if you have two values under the same surd, you would just be multiplying them separately, or this is an option that you could have. And law 2 states that if under a common surd two values are being divided, then you could write them as separate values being divided. And law 3 states that if two values under the third are same, the third on top of them would be removed. Let's solve some questions and see if these laws could be applied there. So let me show you the first question. This is a third being multiplied by this bracket, and let's see how are we supposed to solve it. So root 3 would be multiplied by 4 first, and then root 3 is again being multiplied by 2 root 2. All right, so root 3 times 4, the integer would be kept outside the third, and I would write it as 4 root 3. Then root 3 here multiplies by the root 2 here, and then which is 2 outside and root 6, and this is simplest form that I could get, and I'm going to leave my answer like that. All right, for the next question, I'm going to multiply two thirds within brackets, so I'm just going to distribute both of those. So 6 is being multiplied by 1 plus third 2 plus third 2 multiplied by 1 plus third 2. Let me expand the brackets. That turns into 6 plus 6 root 2 plus root 2 plus root 2 times 2, root 2 times root 2. All right, so because I have nothing here, I could just take that as to be a 1. So 6 plus 7 root 2, and because these two roots were being multiplied, they could be written as root 4 or third 4. So I'm going to change that into 6 plus 7 root 2 plus 2, and then this 2 would come here and be added to the 6. So I'm just going to write it as 8 plus 7 root or third 2, and that is the simplest form that I could get for this question. Let's look at the third example. So the first thing I'll do it, I will expand this bracket writing 7 as a constant and multiplying it by the next bracket, and then plus root 2 2 root 3 times 5 subtract root 3. So I have 35 minus 7 third 3 plus 2 times 5 here becomes a 10 third 3 minus 2 multiplied by root 3 times root 3. For my next step, I get 35 minus, and minus 7 plus 10 would be a 3 root 3. Okay, because under the third is same value, anything outside uh, could be subtracted or added the way it's done, and then minus 2 times root 9. Now please keep on observing that the root 9 could have been written as 3, and 35 minus 3 third 3 minus 6, and then rearrange to get 35 minus 6 minus 3 third 3, which is a 29 subtract 3 third 3, and that is my simplest form. All right, third 6 times third 8 becomes a 48, but that's not the simplest form. So I'm just going to prime factorize, and let's see what do I get. So 2 times 6 is a 12, and then 2 times 3 and 3 times 1. So these two taken into account would 1 2 1 2. So this actually becomes 2 times 2 becomes a 4, and then inside the third is a 3. That is the simplest form for this. All right, remember I told you that we could just write it as 60 divided by third 60 divided by third 5 could just be written as third 12, but then again we'll have to simplify, write it in the simplest form. So 2 times 3 and 3 times 1. This would just be a 2 root 3 or 2 third 3. That is the answer for this question. And for the last part, root 2 or third 2 times third 2 squared would be actually just a third 4, which comes to a 2 in its simplest form. So that was it for today's video for surds. I hope you understood the concept, and you keep on practicing with more questions. Thank you for watching my channel.